All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. We are going to take a few moments and let more folks at home join us. So let's see. I hope everyone enjoyed our 100th episode yesterday. Andy and I had a lot of fun making that episode, so we hope that you had as much fun watching it as we had filming it. So if you didn't get to see our extra special 100th episode celebration, it is still up on our YouTube page, so make sure you check that out. So let's see. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's pretty warm and semi-sunny, I guess. I don't know. I closed the blinds so I wouldn't have a ridiculous glare on my face. So I can't tell if it's cloudy or not. But, I'm sure it's lovely outside. But it is definitely a great day for science. The Science Center is open again. So make sure you check out our website, greatscience.com, for information about getting your tickets to come and visit us. Let's see. Oh, hello, Vera. Thank you for joining me today. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. So, my name is Joy. I'm a guest engagement specialist at the Great Lakes Science Center, and I am coming to you live from the Great Lakes Science Center. And today we are going to be talking about the science of fireworks. Now, 4th of July is tomorrow. And one really common way of celebrating is with big fireworks displays. Now, because they look really, really cool. Now, here's the thing. I am not a trained pyrotechnician, so I am not going to be setting off any fireworks in this stream. Also, I'm inside, so that's extremely unsafe. I am going to show you some really cool ways that we can take a look at how fireworks work and get some fire effects that are similar to fireworks that you can do at home. Now, remember, safety. Always, 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 always safety. But yeah, we are going to look at how fireworks work. Now, fireworks work with a special chemical called black powder that was invented in China about 1,000 years ago. So black powder is a combination of a couple of different chemicals. So there's potassium nitrate, which is also called saltpeter, charcoal, and sulfur. And so that is all crammed into a firework shell with some additive chemicals, and that makes a firework. Now, fireworks are set off by very, very well-trained pyrotechnicians who focus on everything from the specific chemical makeup of the firework to making sure the launch site is safe. And actually, there's even some fireworks now that are set off by computers. So there's a fuse that's wired to a computer that can send an electric signal to the firework when it's time to launch. So that is pretty darn cool. Now, when pyrotechnicians are preparing their fireworks, they have to think about a number of different things, and that includes how the different pellets are formed inside the shell. Now, the shell is the casing of a firework. It's usually made of cardboard or plastic, and how the different pellets are arranged inside the shell determines the shape of a firework. So we're going to take a look at one of my substitute tabletop fireworks. So I have here a nifty little peppermint. And it's white in the middle, but it has these red stripes on the sides. So if I were to try to use this to make a firework, does anyone have a guess? What shape might that firework be? I'm going to let you think about that while I set this up. Now, while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put some water into a plate. Oh, good morning, Oliver. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about fireworks today. All right, so I'm going to tilt you down so you can see this. So this is just a plate with some water in it. And I'm going to pop this peppermint right in the center. And we're going to see what happens. Now, remember, the shape of fireworks is determined by how the pellets are arranged inside of the casing. So if I have these red stripes that are arranged in stripes all the way around, I wonder what shapes we might get. Now, if you look very, very closely at the peppermint, you'll start to see this a little bit of red extending out from the peppermint. That is actually not the reflection of the red on the water. That is the actual sugar in the peppermint dissolving and spreading out into the water. But because the red color is arranged in these stripes, you can sort of see these red stripes extending out into the water and staying in that stripe pattern, which makes our nifty little tabletop firework shape. And that's all in that arrangement, kind of like how a real firework the shape of the firework. It depends on the arrangement of the colors inside the shell. So that is pretty darn cool. So a lot of the fireworks that we see not only have specific shapes, I get this out of the way, but they are aerial fireworks, which means they can fly. And the fireworks fly because of chemistry and because of Newton's laws. So what happens in a firework is there's heat from a fuse, and that causes a chemical reaction with the black powder. And that reaction produces enough force that it pushes down. And because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, the firework is then pushed up into the sky. And often the chemical reaction continues, which is why the explosions continue in the air. So we can also take a look at this with our nifty little Alka-Seltzer Fireworks. This is a film canister from the days of yore that I decorated with some construction paper to look like a firework. And what I did is, if I can get my video to work, I took it outside because, again, I'm not doing this in here because the ceiling is like right there and I don't want to break the ceiling. I took it outside and I added some water and some Alka-Seltzer, and I created which created some carbon dioxide gas and caused a chemical reaction. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. See if we can get this video to go. There we go. Watch the rocket. Woo! And that chemical reaction produced enough force to push down, and then the equal and opposite reaction, let me see if I can make that go again, sent the rocket flying up into the air. And it made a fun poppy noise. So that's kind of what happens with fireworks. There's enough of a force to propel the rocket upwards. Obviously, fireworks go much higher than my little film canister, but it's still a pretty cool effect. Now, so we've explored how fireworks are different shapes and how they're able to fly. But one of the cool things about fireworks is that they're different colors. And that happens because of additive chemicals that are in the firework with the black powder. So if you saw our Energize episode or our Fire and Ice episode, they're on our YouTube if you haven't, you saw that different chemicals burn different colors. So if you have a green firework, that happens because there's probably copper chloride somewhere in the firework because copper burns green. Now, the heat makes those fireworks work because what happens is everything is made of atoms. And with atoms is an even smaller particle called an electron. And the chemicals in the fireworks have electrons that can absorb the energy from the heat. And then because they have extra energy, they are referred to as excited, but they can only hold on to the energy for so long. So they emit a burst of light and the energy goes and gets transformed into wherever it goes next. Now, I can show you one more really cool tabletop fireworks effect that sort of goes with the same principle. It doesn't need heat, but we can kind of see what happens when we change how things are set up. So I'm going to show you another plate. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some milk to this plate. You don't need a lot of milk. I'm just going to do enough to cover the bottom of this. There we go. So this is my milk. Now, this is kind of acting as the black powder. This is the main makeup of my firework effect. And I'm going to add some color. Now, I already mentioned copper chloride and green, so I'm going to do some green food coloring and just a few dots here and there, just a couple dots. Yay, this is exciting. There we go. Dots of green. So this is kind of representative of my firework on the ground. I have my black powder, which is the milk. And what that's doing is that's just what is mainly making up the firework. I have my additive chemicals, which are the green. And then we have my shell, which is the plate. Now, real fireworks use heat to get some sort of reaction. Again, I'm not going to use heat. I'm going to add something different. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dish soap. Honestly, just enough. It's like a dot or two, just enough to cover the top of a cotton swab. And then if I add it in, you can see these colors start to burst and we get to make our own cool little firework shapes, and they move and they disperse when you add the dish soap. So you can have your very own little tabletop firework by adding soap to milk. Now, different types of milk might send colors dispersing more, so you can experiment with that. And the reason why that works is because the liquid molecules in the milk are all bonded together. So when I introduce a different chemical, in this case, the dish soap, it disrupts those bonds and it sends those colors dispersing. So you have this really cool sort of firework type effect and the colors travel. So that is pretty cool. So we have seen some really cool ways that we can make our own little firework effects at home without fire, so safely, and without giant noises that can make your neighbors mad. So that brings me to your challenge for today, and that is to take what we learned today about fireworks and shape and color and see if you can make your own safe fireworks display at home. That means no fire. So try the tabletop versions that I showed you, or if you have an idea for your own fire-free fireworks display, try it out. See if you can make sure you have a grown-up to help you, because, you know, everything's better with someone making sure everything is A-okay and safe. And then take photos and videos of what you create and share them with us on social media. Tag us, use our hashtag StayCuriousCLE. We cannot wait to see what you come up with and what sort of cool, safe firework innovations you can create. And then once you are done with that, you can clean up your workspace, wash your hands, put all of your materials away, and then you can get excited for our next all-new episode of Curiosity Corner Live. Now, on Monday, you're going to be visiting with my friend Kayleen, and she is going to be teaching you about a special type of optical illusion called an ambiguous object. And that is going to be super, super cool. So make sure you do not miss that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, come back Monday and every single weekday at 10:30 for our next all-new episode of Curiosity Corner Live. Now, until then, make sure you are safe with your fireworks displays, no fire. Have fun. And until next time, stay curious.